Well, hello, my name is Brandon, and this is going to be a video that kind of explains the composite scoring system here on the Signal Lord Premium dashboard. So getting right to it, if you scroll down past the TradingView widget, the track record, and the analysis, you're going to get here to these 8 gauges, and at the very top there's a little card there that reads composite score. Right now that we're at about 3.8 out of 10, leaning bearish. We are in a technical bear market with Bitcoin, so that would be consistent with regime and market conditions. If you click on this question mark tooltip, it does give you a breakout card that explains things a lot better about how this is weighted. We weighted this specifically in a way that kind of gives it a better momentum weighting, because some of these indicators are, let's say, medium to long term, and some of them are short term, so they're weighted differently in proportion to that to give a better average score. We figured this out by doing lots of back testing and just lots of consideration about, how often are these things changing, how often are they firing, and how much does it change or flip sentiment. This gives you kind of a rundown about would we be in a bull market or a bear market, depending on the numbering scale here and what that really looks like. If you go into each card here, they all do have their own question mark tooltips that explains how those independently are weighted. And these 8 circle gauges here are directly correlated to these 8 tabs here that you see sliding. So liquidity, risk, on-chain, institutional, positioning, momentum, macro, sentiment. If you go into all these here and you scroll down, this kind of a overall card that it gives you bullet points explaining what's all in this section. But you look at M2 money supply, reverse repo, treasury account, Fed balance sheet. This is measuring liquidity, and if you go up to the gauges, what that corresponds to on liquidity, you click on that tooltip, and it tells you, how we weight these things with money supply, liquidity, trend, TGA, and how we calculate that. And the same thing goes for all the other things. One of the kind of an inverse indicator here is positioning. This is a little bit different, so it's kind of flipped the other way. A low score is kind of neutral, a high score is more crowding. So that's just something to keep in mind when you're considering the overall score at the top here, which is 3.8 out of 10 currently. But this is just kind of like a quick read, something to consider if you're just kind of getting a read on what's going on with Bitcoin. You don't want to spend a lot of time digging into the data, or you're just curious. And of course, you can go into any of these tabs and look deeper. All of these tabs have tooltips explaining what all of them are individually as well. There's a lot of educational information in here. And so, yeah, that kind of concludes the video here about how to read the gauges.